Good morning, Giants. Welcome to Wake Up with Giants TV. Have you ever wondered how to do hard things? Hang tight. Good morning, Giants. Welcome to Wake Up with Giants. We're glad to have you here today. I've got a special guest, Alyssa Ann, all the way from Australia. So we might speak some Australian today. So
yes,
be prepared for some F words.
This is true.
There
may be some swearing.
Seems to be like the most common word in their language over there is that word. So be prepared for that. If you haven't subscribed yet to YouTube, please go do that. There are a ton of videos on there and really good content as far as helping you reach your giant potential. And so today's topic is going to be a little different. Is there anything you want to share about Alyssa Ann? No,
I'm hoping you know most of it by now.
Yeah, I do. If those of you that are watching don't know, Alyssa Ann was part of the original League of Giants and has been on this journey for about 2 years. It's about how long I've known you.
Yeah.
And so it's been cool to see your journey. So she's been in America for about 2 months, came to hang out with me, which was pretty cool, a couple of days. And then she's exploring Utah and hanging out with a bunch of other people and Giants around this area and really just living freely. If you can, just imagine just being that free to just be nomadic in a way and just get out there and really do hard things, which was kind of the foundation for this topic. And so as you think of hard things, even the definition of hard things seems to be relative, right? Like,
yeah, definitely. Definitely.
What does it mean to you?
Well, I think there's lots of different layers to it because you invited me to come and do this live and I was like, no. Yeah. That was my thing straight up. I was like, no, I don't do video. I don't like lives.
Yeah.
Yet 3 days ago, I jumped out of a plane.
Yeah.
Right.
See? Yeah.
Right. And then I packed up my whole life.
Yeah.
And came to a different country to see what I could achieve and see what would unfold in that and trusting. And so I'm like, well, that's interesting, isn't it?
It is interesting because if you think about, like, for me, jumping out of a plane would be a scary thing.
Yeah.
But going on stage, I'll do that all day.
Right.
But for most people, jumping on stage would be like next to death.
Terrifying.
And jumping out of an airplane would be easy.
Yeah.
Right?
And me going to a foreign country.
Yeah.
Just to travel and live with, as you know, no transport, no anything, and just letting it go is, I'm not challenged. I'm not, obviously challenging, but I'm like, I can do that.
Well, and so it's figure outable, right? So as you get to that new place or a new way of being or doing something you've never done, there's going to be this state of really getting into figuring it out and adapting to what is. Is that accurate? Or
yeah, I think so. And I think also with a lot of that, it's been surrender, as you know. It's been trust and surrender the whole time.
Okay, so I want to dive into that.
Of course you do.
Yeah. Yep. So what does that mean to you, surrender?
Well, that means letting go of control.
Okay.
Yeah, that means I can't control things.
Okay. Yeah, and control is a big thing. So control is a fear thing.
Yeah.
I'm going to get you to look right here.
I can't look there.
So control, I mean, think about it, like control and perfection and these things that we do to feel secure in our environment. And surrender being one of those things that you let go of that. Yeah. So in essence, you melt into the experience. Right?
Yeah. Into who I'm being.
Yeah.
Which has been incredible.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what it's been the whole time. And everything gets reflected back to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Talk about that. See, I'm going to dig a little deeper.
I was not prepared for this, incidentally. There was no what we're going to do. This is just an unfolding.
Our shows are never orthodox. So
I'm all for that as well. I'm all for that.
We can do this and really offset it. We can say, we'll just really throw a wrench in it. This show is sponsored by Alyssa Ann.
Yay! And hang on.
And
which way is it? I am in charge.
Yeah, the Giants merchandise is awesome.
Yeah,
it looks good. Yeah,
I'm wearing mine. Where's yours?
I know. I have Black Rifle Coffee Company on all over.
No.
Not cool. I'm not even wearing my own brand.
No, that's it. All right. So your question about what's changing in me, basically, or who am I having to be?
Yeah. So your reflection, you talked about a reflection that you get back from your experience. And so one of the things I know is it's really hard to see yourself the way that you would see others.
Yes.
And so the only way you can see that is what they reflect back to you.
Mm-hmm.
And so my experience of you over this past weekend or just a couple of days has been, there's an energy about you that has to be experienced. You know, you can see your words and your images, right? And then you get on camera or you get your voice added to that, and there's another level of that experience.
Yes.
And so my reflection back would be, there's this not animosity, that's a bad word. That's the wrong direction. Animation, yes, right?
Yeah.
And excitement for life and freedom around life and the intonations that you have when you speak. There's this experience of that just takes your words and everything else to another level. And as far as your soul goes, it's like my experience of you has been that you are just really present, loving, accepting. Like I haven't been in the presence of somebody that's as accepting of where you are in your world, and you tend to express that. So that would be my reflection back. What are some others?
No, I think that's very accurate. I just am having the most incredible experiences, and I have this understanding that what I'm seeing in other people is what already exists in me. So I'm constantly acknowledging these people, and then they're returning all these acknowledgements back to me, and I'm left just in awe and wonder, going, wow, look, if I'm seeing it in you and you're seeing it in me, then it already existed, didn't it? Like that's a beautiful realization. And this whole journey I've just been blessed. But as I've said to you before, I feel too much. Like, you're right. People are sort of seeing a one dimension with my writing and my images. And I'm like, I'm too animated when I talk. I'm too loud. I'm too much energy. I swear too much. I just, I'm larger than life a lot of the time.
I think this is the first time I haven't heard you swear.
I'm doing so well, incidentally.
So usually we'll drop a few F-bombs in here with the Australian language.
That's it.
But going into the idea of doing hard things and then that reflection back of who you're being inside of that. Let's go into the hard things. So when you get into that space, let's say jumping out of an airplane, that is a challenge. Tell me about some of the preparation that goes into it, how you felt emotionally as before you did it. And then what happened after?
Okay, sure. So I had it was on one of my bucket lists, one of my things I always wanted to do. And I just thought, if not now, when? And it seemed right. And I'd been talking about it for years. Yes, I'm going to do it. Yes, I'm going to do it. And then I was just sitting in my friend's backyard having some sun therapy and not wearing very much. And I thought, I'll just have a look if there's any skydiving around here. And it was really close. So I just got the momentum for it and just went, let's do this. But on the day before, I went to Santa Cruz, the pier where all the rides are. And I went on one of the rides with my friend's kids. Shit myself. There's no other way to say it. Right. I got launched on this thing and I was just swearing my ass off and I was not happy. I had my eyes closed. I was clenched. I was just, I just felt like I was going to get flung off. And I thought, how am I going to jump out of a plane tomorrow? Like, seriously, how am I going to go to 10,000 feet? And I just imagined I'd be like hanging on and him trying to push me out the door, right? I was like, how am I actually going to do this? And then it got to the next morning and I was nervous. I was just, my stomach was going and I was too scared to eat anything and all the rest of it. And then I was listening to some affirmations and they grounded me. And I think if you form something in your mind, what you think is going to happen, and then the reality is always very different. So I had to be there by 10:30. I thought, okay, well, I'll be jumping soon. Well, I didn't. It was the smallest plane. It was about this big, incidentally. And it was 1950. It's
as big as the space.
Oh, my gosh, it was. And it was like 1955. So I'm watching the pilot get out of it thinking, are you serious that I'm getting up in that? And then because it only fit 4 people, they had to just keep doing these different jumps. So and she said, you're in the third lot. So I got to witness other people doing it, and then they landed safely, and then they came back and shouted to me, and then the next lot went. So I think in that amount of time,
she gained a little security just watching others, right?
Yeah, and I was calm, like so calm. And the second I went in, I was just, I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
And the guy was about to do his 13,000th jump.
Yeah, wow.
The guy that I was strapped to. So I was, and I just truly, I thought everything in my life has led me to this moment. Everything, every decision I've ever made. And I'm so prepared for this. And I'd also been seeing eagles and falcons and every day since I've been in here. And I'm like, I want to know what that feels like.
Yeah.
I want to see that point of view. I want to fly.
That's really cool. I mean, as I hear this story and kind of the steps, because that's where I go is the steps, like what you went through is there was this thought, right? I wonder if there's skydiving around here.
Yeah.
And then there was this commitment to do that. So you booked a ticket. So you made yourself a schedule, an appointment, which really creates urgency. Now I got to prepare myself. And then you work through the emotions that come up within that. So if we're talking about doing hard things, it's the same process you would follow with anything, right? If you want to run a marathon, you would do the same thing. You would book the event and then you'd start preparing for it as much as you can, right? So you're doing affirmations and you're meditating as much as you can. Or your mind's going crazy. You're thinking about past experiences where you've done something like this and how that went. And that's not bringing up pleasant images, right?
Not always, no.
So you're working through those. And then you get into the environment where this event is going to happen. And there's another level of preparation that goes even deeper.
Yes.
And you're in this space wondering, and all your fears are being realized. And they're not. I mean, they are as much as they could be, but you're in this little boxy plane.
Yeah.
And then you start witnessing others do it and they're coming out okay.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
And so it gives you some confirmation that you're going to be okay.
Yes.
And then you end up leaping out of the plane. First you hang your legs out of the plane and then he jumps with you.
And then somersaults.
Yeah. And so you're falling out of this plane. And so all this stuff you've imagined really just at that point goes out the window because now you're in the experience.
It does. But I'm still chanting, love is and I am that. Love is and I am that. I'm still,
And there's an image that you shared online. I want to see these comments where there was absolute surrender.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. That was.
And then afterwards, just this celebration that you did that. Right.
Yeah. And I wanted to go straight up and do it again.
Yeah.
I was just, that was everything I wanted it to be.
Yeah. I like that, Brian. Yeah. It's a perspective. It's relative. It is relative. And each of us gets to define what that means to be hard. Right.
Yeah, definitely. And as you know, it's in taking the action.
Yeah.
That you then get the confidence.
You do.
It?
Yeah. The way through is to do it.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And I came out of it going, aligned, committed action.
Yeah.
They were my 3 things I got out of it. And I thought, that's what I've been missing.
Yeah.
I've been missing those last 2. That committed and that action. So I get the thought and I get excited about it, but then I don't always take the committed action, which is the same with the lives, which is the same as the recordings for the videos.
And the more you do it, the more confidence you gain because you relax into it. Really is all that's happening is you're relaxed while you're doing it.
Yeah.
So I remember when I first started doing my shows here, I was really anxious. I would throw an Australian word there. I would be like, I was fucking anxious. I was like, oh my gosh. But the more we did it, Ryan and I would do these shows back and forth, and Ryan will be back here in the future. But we would do these shows, and together we would create some relaxation in that. We'd banter back and forth.
But just like you and I are now, so already I'm feeling a lot more relaxed than I was 14 minutes ago. I don't have my glasses on, so everything's blurry.
14, if any of you are wondering, is 14 in English.
In English, you mean American.
In Australian, that's 14.
14.
Yeah.
Yes, there's lots of different pronunciations.
Yeah, I just, I think of you coming from Australia, and during COVID, it's really a time in Australia where everything's shut down. There would be a lot of questioning. I'm committed to coming to America. So same process. If we walk through it there, I'm committed to coming to America. I booked my tickets. I don't know how this is going to happen. No. And then this miracle happens that you're able to get to America. It's unexplainable, truthfully.
It truthfully is, yeah.
So you end up in America. Yeah. And not only do you end up in America, like you end up with whatever resources you have and whatever connections you had before, and then whatever comes up as you go. And it's amazing because you met all these people.
Yes.
You get to have all these experiences with different people. Like you're staying with different people pretty much every other day, right?
I am. Yeah.
And so in a way, it's like these people come in and support your courage.
Yes.
Because you're out there actively pursuing and creating. And not only that, but giving space for them to really express themselves and their own fears and quote unquote hard things.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And certainly leaving an imprint with them. You know, like I said, I'm really big on acknowledgement, and I've been writing a letter just about to every single person I've stayed with, just to say the beautiful things. And in turn, I get it back, and I'm just like, oh.
That's cool.
Right?
That's cool.
It's just, it is.
I want to see this here. I still kind of struggle with the lives and feel that almost all a kind of hesitation.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Doesn't that make sense though? So if you're doing something that's kind of outside of your norm, that you're going to have some hesitation, that you're going to have some thoughts and feelings and emotions come up that are pretty intense.
Yeah, definitely.
And you're going to play out in your mind anything that you know and compare it to that, and then predict from what you know.
Yes.
So I think in psychology, they call it the remembered present. So you're not really acting from the present as it is. You're acting from what you remember and bringing that into the present and then predicting out from there. And so a lot of us hold ourselves back when it comes to hard things because it's just, we have these memories of times where it didn't go quite right. And so we bring that into our prediction.
Yeah, definitely.
And so that hesitation makes sense. You would have hesitation.
It does.
You had hesitation.
Oh, for sure. But as you know, it's in taking the committed action that frees you from it, because then you're doing it.
Right.
And this is the incredible thing. And then you have it in your toolbox. I always talk about a toolbox, especially with my kids. You did these hard things. So when it comes up to that next hard thing, you look through your toolbox and you go, well, I did that, and that, and I didn't think I could.
Yeah.
I remember being scared about that.
Right. Now your memories that you're drawing from are memories of, that was successful.
But it was scary. And I remember I didn't want to do it. And I remember it really pushed me out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
And here I am doing it.
Well, see, even now, your relaxation now has shifted.
Yeah.
Like you can feel your energy at the beginning of this is like, jumping out of a plane.
I've just got to be me.
What's up, Tony Schmaltz?
Yeah.
Brian, man, you're on a roll, brother. This is excellent. Memory and expectation are the enemy of the now, and that is that's very true. I see that. Yes. Amazing conversation. Well, I think that's a stretch. I'm just kidding. It's beautiful. Thank you.
Like you knocking out conversation.
No. You know, it's I think of hard things in my life.
Yeah.
I want to talk about survival mode a little bit. This is coming up quite a bit for me. Is the survival mode is not survival lifestyle, right? And so I talked about this last night in the course. Is survival, you get into the state of, I got to figure something out. So in your case, let's say you go into that state of feeling that fear. That's what I would call survival mode. Yeah. And you feel the chemicals rushing through your body. That would be that survival mode where your brain shuts down and you start preparing for whatever comes.
Yeah, fight or flight and all the rest of it.
Yeah, it's meant to be a state or a moment or a mode, right? But not a lifestyle. Yes. And people get stuck in getting comfortable with that discomfort of survival. Like they get into that fear state and then they learn to run their lives from that, right? And with doing hard things, it's moving beyond that. So it's moving out of that consistently thinking about things and not acting on them.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's moving into the action of them,
action,
right?
Action. But also look at us with cold water immersion and things like that. So I finish my showers, and I've been doing it for many years. I finish my showers with cold for the last 2 minutes normally. And I hate it. Let me be very, very clear. Yeah. Okay. I do not like being that cold.
Yeah.
And that was even my hesitation, as you know, coming to Utah.
Right.
Because I was like, I don't want to be cold. I am a summer person. I need to be in the sunshine. Yeah. I was putting it off. It's taken me 2 months, as you know, to get here. But you know, in the ice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what did you feel prior to that?
Okay, so walking into that. So we for those that didn't see it, so we went up to Farmington Pond here in Utah, and it's probably 28, 30 degrees out. It's cold. And we cut holes in the ice. The ice is about a foot thick, and we cut 2 holes, one on one side and then another that you would swim under the ice and come out the other side. And
Kills me.
I had done the ice dip before, where you just get in the ice and you get under the water.
Yeah.
And that even was intense, because there's the shock to the body that happens when you get in that ice, that just your brain shuts off and you don't have a say in it.
Right.
Not at all.
No.
And so for me, going into it, I had memories of that. Like, this was intense, but I know I can do it. And so getting into it, these emotions are going. And so the instructor, Mike Garrick is his name, and he's teaching me how to breathe.
Yes.
Yep. And so I breathe and I slow myself down. And that's the biggest thing, is slowing down in the moment. It was no different dipping into the ice and coming under and coming up the other side than it was getting on the stage.
Really?
In front of that audience in Arizona. You know, there's 300 to 500 people there. The same emotions, the same process came up.
Okay.
It's like there's this thought in your mind of, I don't know if I can do this. And then you really have to slow down.
Yes.
Right. And then when you slow down and you catch up with your breath helps you slow down, and you really lean into it. Right. Then you have the experience and you come out the other side going, I did that.
Exactly.
Right.
Who's saying ice bath? Let's do it. No.
I know. I wish I could see. Type in your name so we know who this is.
Yeah, we can't see your
name.
name. It's just not coming out. And Tony, yes, I am. I'm flying to Florida on the 4th.
Just wait until September. Don't do it right now.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I think Tony's got a full house right now. So.
Yeah. No, I'm not flying straight there. But yes.
So guys, as you're looking at hard things, I mean, even you feel the relaxation right now of this.
Yeah,
right?
I feel much more comfortable now.
There's the anticipation that's going to come up. You're gonna play out all these thoughts about what's going to happen.
Am I going to forget what to say and all that stuff?
Yeah.
Right?
Yes. Yeah. You're going to forget. So a lot of times, if you see us when we start our shows, we're winging it. We're like, oh Jesus, I don't know if I can do this. Amy, that's who it is. Hey,
it's Amy.
What's up, Amy?
All right, you're on.
So I think of, do the it's me, Amy. It's me. When you want to create something new in your life, hard things is kind of the way.
Yes.
And the only reason it would be hard is a relative thing, is because you haven't done it yet.
Yes.
And so, and the more you do it, the more confidence you get around it. So really commit yourself and create some urgency about getting prepared by setting the date or buying the ticket or signing whatever it is that you need to sign to create that thing. I look at Tony Schmaltz and this event that's coming up, the Upgrade Your Life event.
Yeah.
And it's like, they didn't have any speakers. They had this thought, let's create this.
Right.
They had this declaration, we're creating this. Yes. They made the commitment, we're creating this. They called these people, they got Les Brown, Kevin Sorbo, right? Like they have some big names.
I hope he's still hot.
I don't
just incidentally.
I'm sorry.
Used to crush on him quite a bit.
Did you? Yeah.
He
seems like a cool guy, actually. He's pretty funny. I watch his son and him on TikTok. But really lean into it, because that commitment, when you set that date or you sign that paper that says we got to do this, now you really have to show up and fill in the gaps. Yes. And so it pushes you, it puts you into that survival state where you have to prepare. And being in that space allows you to set yourself up as much as you can in advance to do the hard thing. It does. And then as you're doing the hard thing, you find out it's not as bad as I thought.
That's right.
Right?
Here I am doing another life.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, right.
And as you relax into that, the more you do this, the more it becomes your norm and your identity. And I speak, or I skydive, or I do large events.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you haven't seen the interview with Les Brown and Tony Schmaltz and Laban Ditchburn last night on Facebook, go check it out. It's quick, 11 minutes, and really impactful, because Les asked them a couple of questions about listening and living and why they are where they are. It's pretty powerful. So any other thoughts around that?
No, just go and do hard things. Go and take the action.
Yeah.
Get aligned, get committed, do the steps that you need to do, and go do the thing like I am right now.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to point out something. So the difference, this is from Mike Garrick, and I'll tag him in this later, but he said the difference between fear and excitement is the breath.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Because I say that all the time. As in, when I come into that place of being anxious, I'm like, I'm excited. Yeah. I just like a hype myself up,
Yeah.
you know, when I used to have to go to court in the police force and things like that, all the things I was terrified about doing.
Yeah.
I was just like, I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited.
I'm excited. I'm going to put this guy away for life. And I'm so excited. Yeah. Well, cool. I'm going to go through a couple more comments. Doing one hard thing makes the next hard thing easier.
Yes.
And easier until you realize it's not that hard.
Oh, I love that.
That is cool.
That is cool. Yeah.
Well, guys, we love you. Thank you for being a part of our journey. Yes. Keep being giant. Keep stepping. That's a big thing that I notice is you showed me a video the other day of a guy that talked about losing weight and how people tend to go for these big numbers. Yes. You know, if I'll lose 50 pounds or 100 pounds or in kilograms, whatever that equates to, I'll lose one of those.
Right. Yes.
He just breaks it down to the most simple of just do one.
Just do one.
Yeah. Keep the small steps there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so love you too.
Yeah. And know that it's not always linear.
Yeah.
Know that. Yeah, just by you doing it and taking the action, you might not get where you want to go.
Yeah.
But just by doing that little thing, you're getting closer.
Yeah. Yeah. You keep expanding, right?
Yeah, you do. Yeah. Expand.
It's awesome.
That's the key.
Cool. Well, guys, make it a giant day. We will see you in the next video. Take care.